Okay, you guys, before we export to for example, if you'd like to make this in real life with these patterns, the first thing you're going to have to do is definitely add seam allowance. So this will add seam allowance all over, right? And here there is no seam allowance, so I have to manually add it. And in the seam allowance, you can decide if you want 2 centimeters at some point or 1 centimeter. So you add all the seam allowance around, and here as well. Make sure every corner, and here you can adjust the like it's 1 centimeter usually, but you can make it however many centimeters. So now that we have our seam allowance, you can also name the fabrics, right? Yes, you can name the fabrics. If I wanted, I would say this is the front center, yeah, and then I'll say this is the back center. This is just an example, right? And now we have our named fabrics. You can so now it's ready to be exported, right? To export, in order for you to export your file, you're going to go here and say, so DXF means you are transporting the flat drawings, these ones. So if you want to work on them in, let's say, in STYLE3D, you can always transfer them as patterns themselves as flat drawings, and then you do the sewing over there. And then export OBJ, you can export it as an object. An object literally means you export it as an object. The fabric is not going to move or anything. You're going to export it into like programs like Blender, Maya 3D, Python. I don't know about so many other 3D creation programs. They will require for you to import an OBJ, and this is how you can export an OBJ. PLT, I never used it, but it's also used in some programs. BOM used in some program. FBX is used for also animation a lot. SCO I've never used. GLTF is also used for animation. If you want, there are programs that will require you to save an GTLF. For example, if you want to export this avatar and the dress without the avatar, but it will still have its movement, the motion and everything. And then GLB, we have Alembic. Alembic is also video, you can transfer. And then point cache, object sequence, all of these. Just do research on the program that you want to be the end goal for STYLE3D. So the main issue when you're exporting to print to sew, or to print to cut out and sew in real life, once you're done and you would like to export your file for printing to make a real garment, you're going to go to export and you say DFX, and you're going to save it to, let's say this. Let's say desktop, and I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to say DXF and save, and this is going to come. So here you can export seam allowance, yes. Export graphic, no, because then that means your print will have all these prints, right, when you print it. Export fabric name, yes. Splits and no at notch, yes. And centimeters. Okay, exclude hidden patterns and say all patterns, and then you say okay. And wherever your file is, that's where you're going to, that's the one you're going to take to print. You're going to open it. You can only open it in different apps. That's why, because I don't have Adobe Illustrator, but you'll be able to open this in Adobe Illustrator once you have got your flat drawings. So guys, I think I have covered like 95%. If there is something that I have forgotten, I will come back and fix it into the course, but I think I've covered most of it. So I hope you've learned something, and yeah,